Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Forged Irish Stout Empire Fight Store. We're back here, Leeds. Maxi Hughes, Maxi, how's things, pal? I know we caught up after the Zepeda fight. It's the first time I've been back to the gym and seen you back here and sparring. Half the ring cut off. Going doghouse rules tonight, wasn't it? How you feeling? You're looking good, fine fettle, mate.
Yeah, good and enjoying it, mate. Like, obviously, it feels like it's been a while now since Vegas, but I come back from there feeling refreshed, mentally recharged, and ready to carry on fighting. Like, so, I come straight back to the gym and, like I say, carrying on sparring and enjoying it and just practicing. There's no pressure, but keep him ready.
I know you're not one to make excuses, and you never did after the fight. I think we all sort of saw, because now you've got your YouTube channel up and running. We sort of...
Maxi on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, plug that. We'll put it in the description. But everyone actually saw what happened in the build up to the fight. Putting the fight to one side, he was a better man. Take your hat off to him, etc. But to get deported on the week of the fight, I mean, you couldn't really write it, could you?
No, yeah, again, I've been of it that many times. If you do want to watch it, go onto my YouTube. But it wasn't the ideal prep. But I still felt after everything I'd been through, I was tired, but I was battling with it, Normally it's the other way around, so normally it's your mind what gives in first, and that's what stops you. But this time my mind wanted to do it, but my body were letting me down, as well as that massive body shot he caught me with. That took me soul, that like. But yeah, it wasn't ideal, but again, it was I can't make it as an excuse, because I decided I had every right to say I want this postponed, and because of my position with IBF that had been ordered, it would have been postponed. But all training had gone fantastic right up until I'm playing back. So I was like, nah, I've still got all that good work in the bag, and I was researching jet lag, how to get over jet lag really quick and all that, to try and combat it and thingy. But so that was my thinking. Like, right, I'll just be all right. I'll still got confident. I still thought I'd have what it takes to beat him. But got in there fight night and better man won. So
yeah, and look, I think he's one of the best, I would say, volume punchers I've seen in a long time. You see a lot of these fighters come, smother the work and maybe gas out. He looked like he were there for a few weeks.
Yeah,
like
he was better on his feet than I thought, like you say, not smothering his work, not falling in, and his feet were good. And like you say, he's a massive volume puncher, because they don't hurt that, like the singles, they're not really it. It's just because there's just that much of them, and he doesn't stop. I was battling when he caught me for that body. I thought, just go down and take a knee. Well, then having this mental battle over like a split second, like, yeah, but if you go down, he'll definitely know that he's hurt you, and he'll come on even stronger than he already is. So we're like, nah, just try and ride it out, and then. Yeah, and then that was the end.
Well, look, 2 fights in America, two headline performances. We'll go on to the other one, actually, because it's obviously relevant now, because George is having this fight against Lomachenko. Seeing the build-up, you referenced it, actually. They've referenced a lot of Lomachenko's fight against Devin Haney and the loss from Kambosos against Devin Haney. I'm not saying they've tried to erase you out of this little bit that's happened in between, but it's been shied away from a little bit.
Imagine this as a carpet. That's what they've done with me on this fight. I'd be embarrassed if I were George in his camp. Well, he's got a new camp now, hasn't he? So since I actually seen his camp that he had against me in Vegas, the trainers, we sacked them because everybody knows. But yeah, I would be embarrassed the fact that they've had to market this fight as though George's last fight was against Devin. They've totally tried to erase me, because they know it's just going to spark outrage again with the controversy, because everybody knows it shouldn't be George there on Saturday or Sunday, whichever day they're fighting. It should be me. So yeah, if I were them, I'd feel a bit silly, like trying to, obviously he's going to sit down and try and talk about his previous fight, but like, I'd love to be in that room and they said, right, George, whatever you do, you can't mention that Maxi Hughes fight, because you didn't win. So let's talk about the Haney fight, and we'll pretend that was your last fight.
Either or, like I said, he got beat by Haney twice as well. But in terms of what this does for you now next, I assume you said after before I even got the fight with Lomachenko, look, I'd love that rematch. Depending on what happens, I suppose, that fight could still be there for you. How do you see this fight playing out? Loma's not fought since Hearn, obviously a lot of time out the ring, but do you see that affecting him much? How do you see it playing out?
No, I think Loma is the elite of the elite. I think Loma on a bad day is still too much for George. Being just a top fighter, but being a southpaw, them angles, them feet, I just think it's just too much for George. I don't think he knows how to deal with that. He's better in a dogfight, is George, but obviously Loma's too smart to try and get involved in a dogfight. That's George's best chance, but Loma's just too smart for that, too good for that. He's boxed the higher caliber. It's a new word I've had up there. Caliber fighters. So I just think he's going to be too much. So I put my money on Loma.
Ideal scenario for you, I suppose. And look, it's not saying anything. We've seen George turn up before against the Teofimo Lopez and shock everyone. And I know people said Teo wasn't the same, but I'm trying not to make obviously excuses for his performance. But ideal scenario for you, Loma goes and beats George. You two then, obviously, there's a narrative as well. Like a lot of these fights tend to not happen because it's why do we need to have this fight? But ultimately, there is a narrative in that fight. That fight cost you your chance. Although you got the fight against Zepeda in Vegas, that cost you your chance.
Somebody that like, wasn't it?
Well, no, but I'm saying in terms of what it could have done for you.
My profile grew, didn't it?
It grew your profile, but I'm saying it could have been you fighting Loma instead. So that opportunity was taken away. So there is something there to work off for a big fight. Ideally, that's what you want. Whether it's next or the fight after, that's what you're after, isn't it?
Yeah. Loma might feel sorry for me, so Loma might go, tell you what, Max, I'll give you a shot.
Voluntary.
yeah, that'd be ideal. But yeah, there's that narrative with George. I always respected George, especially after his TO win, and I always will want to give him his credit. But the way he handled it after the fight, after me, he just didn't handle it with any sort of grace at all. Even still, I saw an interview he did the other day. I made a funny video of it on my Instagram. I watched that interview, and he's like giving it big, and I'd love to come to the UK. The UK fans, this, that, another. So the interviewer then asked him, well, what about there's a certain Maxi Hughes who you've got history with. What about that? I'll have to get this fight out way first. I've got a big thing. So he's just so contradictory of what he says. 1 minute he's saying, when I get fast Loma, I'd love to come to the UK. But when he gets asked a question about coming to UK, no, I can't really think about that now. So, yeah, the history is there. The controversies, I think I've took too many punches tonight. The controversy is there with that fight. Whether the two, you'd hope that behind closed doors, him and his dad would go, look, fucking hell, we were lucky there against Maxi, we got nod there. So that might go, let's get that fight on.
And obviously, the last couple of fights yourself, obviously, you've worked quite closely alongside DiBella, who's helped sort of put these fights in motion. Are you looking to do that going forward, hopefully bring some big fights?
Yeah, so obviously George is signed with Lou. I'm still signed with Lou. So it'd be easy again. It'd be as easy as the first fight we met. So, after George gets beat, where is he going to go? I feel like that's a good option. And if he doesn't, it's not the be all and end all. I'm still training, and I'll, my name's still out there, ranked in world and respected. So if he don't want it, then we'll move on and we'll get somebody else.
I was going to say your name was bandied about with the likes of Gary Cully for a long time as well. I know he's beat obviously stablemate Reece Mull. I know Reece wants that fight back as well.
Did he really? He got the nod. His uncle, two of his uncles, I think, were judges. Referee with his granddad. So yeah. Well, you know what's funny? Eddie Hearn's even reached out to Reece on a private message and said, "I think you won that fight." So he's now.
Really? Has he?
Yeah. Yeah, and he wants to help Reece out because of he felt he was hard done by. Reece was the champion going in there, and he got treated like the challenger, and his belt stolen off him. So yeah.
Well, a bit of an interesting sidebar there. Look, I appreciate you've just done quite a lot of sparring there. Is there anything else you want to get off your chest? Any more fresh content coming your way?
Oh, will be coming, by the way. Yeah, I'm a bit slow to getting it out, but yeah, we'll go to Australia. Yeah, but the content will keep coming. And once again, as always, everybody who supports me and carries on supporting me, I'm so grateful.
100%. Look, Max, always a pleasure catching up with you. We look forward to seeing you get back. It looks like whatever happened in Vegas with the defeat, you've come back. Well, I'm going to say, from like what I've seen here and the preparation before, still sharp as a tack. Like
beer as well. Like that's the main thing. It's not defeated me mentally. Like my body were all right. I only went 4 rounds, didn't it? So yeah, it's not mentally defeated me, and I'm not all still shrugging them shoulders and dragging my heels. I'm like I want to get back. I'm still good here. So yeah, let's just keep us fingers crossed these big fights come.
100%. Look, let's see where it goes. Appreciate you always talking to Boxing Social. Hopefully, not praying on anyone's downfall, by the way, but if things work out in your favour, you get the fights that you want, and yeah, let's see what happens. Appreciate your time, Max.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.